This will be Bitcoin's bottom, based on the most important key levels, my technical analysis, by comparing previous crashes, and based on my fundamental analysis, if the Bitcoin fails and the whale investor is gonna lose confidence. So check this out. Alright, how's it going, friends? Thanks for jumping back into my channel, and yes, in today's video I'm gonna try to predict, I'm gonna try to call Bitcoin's bottom, because there is a very one specific key level that caught my eye, and I'm gonna keep my eyes on it, because everything is perfectly connects with my technical analysis, of course some fundamental analysis, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, everything is aligned at that specific key level. But let's jump straight into charts, and yeah, Bitcoin daily time frame, so the Bitcoin previous technical analysis. It seems that this risky biscuits, let's just say death cross, is playing out. We're getting rejected from this red 200-day moving average, and it seems that Bitcoin wants to get back inside this falling wedge pattern. And if we're gonna get inside this falling wedge pattern, yes, everything is gonna be invalidated, and we won't gonna see $90,000, my target point, like in the upcoming weeks or months. So we won't see that in the near future. We're not going to see that, and we're going to see even a lower price. Maybe the Bitcoin is going to start, I don't know, reaching $71,000. But what I want to show you that the trading environment is not there. So for those who, yes, there are bears and there's a lot of supply here, so they open a short sell position. But Bitcoin shows a one specific thing right now, that either it's going to pump or we're going to lose that, let's just say, support, and we're going to see a big drawdown on the bigger time frame. And I'm just bear with me, I'm going to show you that specific technical analysis that I want to talk about this today. I'm not going to speculate right here on the right side. We have Ethereum. I'm not going to speculate on Ethereum, how low Ethereum could go, because Bitcoin right now is controlling the whole party, and I'm going to focus more on the Bitcoin. And yeah, so if the Bitcoin is everything is going to crash and we're going to see a bigger crash, we're going to try to compare, I don't know, the S&P 500, how it moves, and I'm gonna try to compare the previous crashes and what we're experiencing right now, all the market conditions. So yeah, I have no idea how Ethereum low could go. Maybe 1,000, maybe 900, maybe 800. Well, I would love to buy at $800, $700 Ethereum, but I don't want to see that happen. I just don't want to see that, and there's like, I need to make a separate video on Ethereum to see all of those key levels, all of those most important support zones that I need to keep my eyes on. And should I start opening my spot limit orders, or what should I do if I want to accumulate more Avalanche or the specific point Ethereum? But right now, let's jump straight into Bitcoin charts. So once again, we're getting rejected from the 200-day moving average. 50-day moving average is going below 200-day moving average. That what indicates us that stupid and dirty death cross that could send the price to the downside. So if you're open your buy long positions from that specific secure gains, I don't care. I mean, this is totally up to you, but this whole market structure, this whole bullish scenario could be invalidated, and we can start seeing a lower price on the Bitcoin. So yeah, let's jump straight into a weekly time frame on the standard charts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I just want to mention this because I made a video about this before, and I want to mark this down. I want to add this to my watch list. Bitcoin, of course, capital.com charts by connecting all of those previous tops, because everything is perfectly matches. And I want to see in the near future if this whole ascending resistance is gonna play out, because the next target point would be at around $115,000, 100 maybe and $20,000. If we're gonna see a leg up, another leg up. I just want to mention you guys that everybody's waiting, and they're hoping that that was our first leg up, and that was our second, and we're praying to the crypto gods, the goddamn crypto gods, to see a second leg up, to see a second rally. And it could play out because we have a lot of weight on if the whole scenario fundamentally is going to play out, if the US going to add Bitcoin to their strategic reserve. So we have a little bit of weight for the whale investors to be more confident to invest into the Bitcoin. So everything is gonna change dramatically if this whole situation is gonna play out like from the manual. And let's hope to see that playing out, because yeah, diamond hands forever. Well, I'm just kidding, of course, but yes, this Bitcoin charts right now, weekly and of course standard charts, are on my watch list. I want to see how everything is playing out. But let's just go straight into the logarithmic charts, because we have more and more data on those charts. All right, logarithmic charts. So in this technical analysis, I want to mention all of those previous events that could identify a little bit some, let's just say, market manipulation. I want to talk about this one specific key level that I'm keeping my eyes on. We're going to use I'm going to show you the whole logic explanation based on the different technical analysis that everything is perfectly matches. We're going to use those two horizontal lines that represents previous all-time highs, 2018 and 2020 all-time highs. We're going to use for the support and resistance reasons 50-day moving average and 200-day moving average. Look at this beautiful golden cross, let's just see, cross rally to the upside. Of course, every single time we touch this ascending trend line, it works as a support. That is what I wanted to mention, you guys, that either Bitcoin is going to see a breakdown and we're going to start retesting a lower price, or we're gonna bounce back up from here, because it seems on the weekly time frame that we're creating some kind of triangle pattern or whatever. Of course, this like weekly time frame, we cannot be that accurate, but yeah, on the bigger picture we can see what is actually going on in the market. And yes, of course, we're gonna use RSI because it shows us a potential right now divergence, which is, it's a little bit scary, and that wakes me up every single night that thinking about those bearish divergences. Because last time, look, highs, higher highs, high, lower high, divergence. The momentum is going down, but the price is going up. Everything play out, divergence, crash, straight into the bear markets, straight into the freaking hell. While we retested previous 2018's all-time highs, $18,000 approximately, well, more or less. Then we found our support, bounce back up, bullish momentum, bullish momentum, bullish momentum, break through those previous all-time highs, retesting and exploring new all-time high territories, consolidation, of course, Donald Trump inauguration, Donald Trump election, this whole event, around this specific, I'm not that accurate, but around here we got the Bitcoin ATF, so the rally to the upside by 80%. Yeah, the Trump became our, let's just say, our president. Bitcoin's strategic reserve was announced at March 2nd, if I'm not mistaken. But what I want to mention you here, very important, that but the rumors entire time during this rally was a rumors about US Bitcoin strategic reserve. So my opinion right now is this, are this whole rumor type of thing, that this was like buying the rumor sell the news event and the price was already in, and that was our completely top, unless the market sentiment is going to shift from a bearish into the bullish, or we're going to see a breakdown. I mean, the whole market is manipulated completely. So if we're going to see a breakdown, my target point would be, of course, I deleted, but once again, this golden zone. More or less, I'm aiming to is $60,000. Love me or hate me, I don't care. The data is right here in front of me. I cannot ignore it. It perfectly matches with those previous all-time highs. During the bear market, we retested 2018 all-time highs. Every single time it seems that the Bitcoin likes to retest their previous all-time highs. It perfectly aligns and matches with my 50, let's just say 200-day moving average. If the 50-day moving average won't hold, this next target point based on the EMAs would be 200-day moving average. This ascending trend line, this, and my educational guess, if of course if those divergence gonna play out, my next educational guess would be experience a breakdown, movement to the downside, a lot of blood, a lot of panic in the market. When we're gonna meet with the 200-day moving average at approximately here, because yeah, 200-day moving average is gonna show us and gonna try to control that bullish party, and we're gonna try to see some kind of bounce back up. Of course, golden zone from our swing lows to our completely swing highs at approximately here, $60,000, or let me just zoom my eyes, and yes, approximately $60,000. Then a rally to the upside, a lot of good news, the market sentiment is shifting, and then rally to the upside to approximately this ascending support will become our, let's just say, ascending resistance. That's what's gonna be our like a spider web trading strategy, if you remember and you understand what I'm talking about. So the $150,000 would be, or should I say maybe 140 at approximate. I'm not that accurate. I need to see a more and more data. Maybe we're gonna try to connect all those previous tops and to see where the potential resistance could be. So maybe at approximately 128k approximately. We'll see that in the future, but our job is to predict where could be our potential bottom. Of course, I could be wrong. I could fall on this sword. I'm expecting the Bitcoin price could go lower based on those technical analysis, but right now, yes, Bitcoin either is going to start pumping and we're going to respect this ascending support that perfectly aligns. Look how it perfectly matches with the 50-day moving average. We're bouncing back up. And I mentioned you like 2 videos back, I mentioned you that keep an eye on the 50-day moving average, but perfectly aligns every single time. We retest, we reach the 50-day moving average, bounce back up. Reach 50-day moving average, trying to bounce back up. So the 50-day moving average is going to lose that bullish momentum. My next target point is 200-day moving average. Sorry for say that. Like I mentioned you, like it, hate it, it doesn't matter. The data is in front of us. You cannot ignore it. And those potential divergence, that what worries me. That what worries me once again, divergence play out. Divergence trying to play out. So we'll see. ATF, rally, completely market manipulation. Everybody's thinking that the Trump is gonna bring to the, I don't know, to the crypto market some, I don't know, I don't want to say wisdom, but maybe it's gonna bring some bullishness and the investors are going to be more confident. Maybe it's going to create a lot of like policy that goes alongside with the crypto in their benefit, and nothing is actually really happening. There's a lot of heat in the market, tariffs, the trade war against China, and I mentioned you that we have 90 days of that tariffs that have been paused for the Europe. So we'll see how this whole situation is going to escalate. I can only read the charts. I cannot predict what the politics are going to do in the upcoming weeks or months. So yes, either we're going to start bouncing back up or we're going to see that breakdown and movement to the downside. But this golden zone on the weekly time frame, 0.5 and 0.618, those are my next target points. I mean, I don't want to see the $50,000, but if you do believe that this was our first leg up and it's time to cool it off and to see movement to the downside, let me just quickly delete my drawings. So from, let's just say, from our top to the bottom to the touch point at this golden zone would be, well, let's just say somewhere in the middle, all right? Because we have a lot of liquidity. We have a lot of, let's just say, consolidation. This phase built a lot of support. So approximately those numbers, $60,000, that would be a 50%, approximately 50% drawdown. 50% drawdown from this first leg up. When we reach, let's just say, 50-day moving average and we found our support, was also approximately 50% drawdown. So just trying to compare the history, to compare all of those crashes, and we can only speculate by looking at the history and trying to see all of those patterns that the history is trying to repeat itself, or what is going on. So every single time the drawdown by 40-50%, it is a healthy thing. And in general, by looking on the bigger picture, don't be scared. Markets tend to trend up. That's the truth. All the truth. Or you're thinking that the Bitcoin is completely a scam, but markets tend to trend up. Let's just take a look at S&P 500. Look what is going on right now. All right, what do we know? That was, if I'm not mistaken, that was a COVID crash. That one, who knows what it was, but it was a crash, a war, or whatever. I don't know, it's like a Russia, but its charts are the charts. Fundamentals, screw those. I mean, we broke through this ascending trend line that goes all, that perfectly connects with the 50-day moving average. 50-day moving average, ascending trend line, crash, COVID crash, whatever. Approximately, I'm not gonna be that harsh on this drawdown, because yes, everybody was thinking that the world is going to end and everybody's gonna die. So the negative 25%, I'm not gonna calculate this leg. So negative 25% drawdown was I don't know, completed after a breakdown through this ascending support. 25% drawdown, and right now, when we're gonna reach 200-day moving average, negative 25% drawdown. So we have a lot of room in the stock market, especially in S&P 500. We have a lot of room to go to the downside if we compare all of those crashes. So it's like clear as day that the 50-day, S&P 500 created this descending trend, and who knows how long we're gonna stay in this descending trend. But to call a specific bottom, I'm gonna say that to see the in total 25% drawdown, it is a possible scenario. So that is pretty much it. And of course, RSI is showing that there's like a probability to see some kind of bottom, but there's also a room to the downside to see like 23, the level 23 on the RSI, so we still have a room to go to the downside. And don't forget, this is like a weekly time frame, this is like a boring time frame, this is everything where we can see what is going on the bigger picture, what is going on in the market. But right now, talking about Bitcoin, secure gains if you don't trust this bomb, secure gains if you do believe that the falling wedge pattern, for those who are longing. So I don't care, because I do believe, and I hope so, that the crypto market is going to cool off a little bit for this whole weekend, like Sunday and Monday, because we have bank holidays, we have let's just say we have Easter, and we have a lot of time to sit back, enjoying some time, quality time with our friends and family. But who knows, maybe crypto is gonna do something crazy, 24/7 market, and it is a wild card. I don't know, we can expect anything, but I do believe that there's not going to be a lot of volume in the market. And I'm not going to talk once again about this all specific, let's just say, scenario that I'm trying to predict where the bottom is, because we're keeping our eyes on the same stupid market structure. Like, I don't know, every single video I'm trying to mention this guy. I'm not going to bring this up, because how many times I need to bring this up so the people could start seeing clearly on what is going on the bigger picture. I'm not gonna make another Bitcoin video. This is my last one about those specific technical analysis, those bigger ones, those bigger target points. And we only gonna speculate on lower time frames. We're gonna talk more about trades, specifically buying long, selling short, only about those. So I don't know, watch this video till the end, let that sink in. And yes, Bitcoin added to my watch list. This like standard charts, logarithmic charts, once again. Yes, love it or hate it, but the data is right here in front of us. Comment down below, what do you think about $60,000? It is a possible scenario, or it's not realistic, and we're gonna start bouncing back up. And I'm completely wrong by technical analysis. And yes, I'm not afraid to be wrong. I'm putting my money where my mouth is, and at $60,000, it seems that it's like a very realistic scenario based on the Fibonacci, based on those trend lines, based on the 50 and 200-day moving average, alongside with those previous all-time highs, alongside with this, let's just say, liquidity pool, that we have a lot of support here, and there's like a probability to retest. Because on the bigger picture, I don't care, because if we're gonna retest $60,000, 62, 63, more or less, it doesn't matter. And of course, RSI has a lot of room to go to the downside. There's more room for us to go to the downside if this descending trend is gonna continue. So more or less $63,000, it is a possible scenario. I only can see those numbers. I don't know. These are my eyes. I cannot help myself. Right now, I'm seeing everything like, if we're gonna see that breakdown. So buckle up, fellas. Buckle up. Who knows what the future holds us. And yeah, in my opinion, market is completely manipulated. And every single time Trump and BlackRock was saying, oh, we're buying more ETH. Oh, we also adding AVAX. Oh, we're buying more ETH. We're gonna try to add Bitcoin to our strategic reserve. Every single time we crash. So I don't care anymore about those fundamental analysis. I only add it up for those who have never been following what is going on in the market, but I'm never going to add those fundamental analysis. Screw those fundamental analysis. Only technical analysis. Charts never lie. That is pretty much it. And yeah, I'm going to see you in the next one. Peace out.